Hi friends, welcome back to maths classes. So today we are going to learn a new topic in the mathematics, that's trigonometry. Here today we are going to learn some of the basics in the trigonometry. Now let's know what is trigonometry. Here trigonometry is a branch of mathematics that studies the relationship between sides, length and angles of the triangle. Here trigonometry studies about the relationship between side length and angles of the triangle. This trigonometry is very old topic in the mathematics, which are also used by Egyptians to build the pyramids or something. But almost every triangle or every shapes mostly use a trigonometry, because most of the shape consider or have a triangle in those. So they use trigonometry, and here this trigonometry is study of relationship between sides, lengths and angles of a triangle. Here there are the three names given to the angles of the triangle. Here mainly in this trigonometry we are going to learn about this right angle triangle. Here this will be the right angle, and when this is the theta, here this is the theta, the exactly which is the exact line which is opposite to theta, here this is the theta, and when it is exactly opposite, this is known as opposite, and this will be the adjacent. So this is the opposite and this is adjacent. This we also name it as base and this as altitude. Here when theta value is here, this adjacent becomes opposite and this opposite becomes adjacent. This opposite and adjacent are based on the sides of theta. Next, trigonometric ratios. Here trigonometric ratios of triangle are also called the trigonometric functions. Here trigonometric ratios are also called as trigonometric functions, and this the main three important trigonometric functions are sine, cosine, tangent. These are the three important trigonometric ratios, that's sine, these are the three: sine, cosine and tangent. Here cosecant is inverse of sine, cosine is inverse of secant, and cotangent is inverse of tangent. Here if it is 1 by sine, then 1 by sine is equals to cosecant. Here 1 by sine is equals to cosecant. Next, and here when it's 1 by cos, 1 by cos is equals to secant. Here 1 by cos is equals to secant, and 1 by tan, here 1 by tan is equals to cotangent. Here 1 by sine is equals to 1 by tan is equals to cotangent, and sine by cos, here if it is sine by cos, then it is sine by cos is equals to tan. Here sine by cos is equals to tan. So now let's know what are the values of sine, cosine, tangent. Here short form of this cosecant we write as cosec. Short form of cosecant is cosec, and secant is sec, and cotangent is cot. These are the short forms of this, and short form of sine is just we remove the letter e, and here cosine, cos, tangent we write it as tan. These are the short form of this, and here sine theta, if sine angle, sine is equals to opposite by hypotenuse. Here sine theta or sine angle is equals to opposite by hypotenuse. When you remember these three, this sine, cosine and tangent, it is easy to remember cosecant, secant and cotangent. And if you remember just sine and cosine, it's enough to remember the tangent, because sine by cos is equals to tan. As I already told, there is a rule that's sine by cos is equals to tan. So let's check the proof also. Here sine is opposite by hypotenuse, so just I will write it as opposite by hypotenuse, HYP, and it's divided by cos. Cos is adjacent by hypotenuse. Here cos is adjacent by hypotenuse. Here while multiplying we just reverse it, so opposite by hypotenuse into hypotenuse by adjacent. So here hypotenuse, both hypotenuse gets cancelled, so we get opposite by adjacent. Here this opposite by hypotenuse is sine, adjacent by hypotenuse is cos, so if we divide these two we get tan, that's opposite by adjacent. So sine theta is opposite by hypotenuse, cosine is adjacent by hypotenuse, tan is opposite by adjacent, cosecant is reverse of sine, that's hypotenuse by opposite, secant is hypotenuse by adjacent, cotangent is adjacent by opposite. So let's see this in the triangle itself. Here this is the triangle, as I already told. Let's consider this only as an angle, so I'll remove this theta, and here let me name this adjacent as small a, hypotenuse as small b, and opposite as c. When it comes to sine theta, here sine theta value is, sine is opposite by hypotenuse, so sine is equals to c by b, and cos theta, here cos is adjacent by hypotenuse, adjacent is a by b, so tan is opposite by adjacent, tan theta is equals to opposite by adjacent, that's c by a. So cosecant, here cosecant is reverse of sine, so cosecant theta is equals to b by c, secant theta is equals to b by a, and cot theta is equals to a by c. These are the three main equations, and these are the reciprocals of these three main functions. So if you remember, that's enough to solve basic problems of trigonometry, that's formula of sine, cosine and tan. And don't confuse with these reciprocals. Sine reciprocal is cosecant, cosine reciprocal is secant, tangent reciprocal is cotangent. If you please note down this, because these are the three important functions and their reciprocals. If you confuse these functions and with the reciprocals, it will be much problem while solving the problems. Next, now let's learn about the trigonometric angles. Here these trigonometric angles we use to solve some of the problems which are there. Here these are the standard angles, that's 0, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree and 90 degree. These are the standard angles and these are the trigonometric functions. Here in the place of theta we replace these angles. Here when it's sine 0 degree we get 1 by 2. When it's sine 0 degree we get 0. When sine 30 degree 1 by 2. Sine 45 1 by root 2. Sine 60 root 3 by 2. Sine 90 is 1. Here if you remember just this one, if you remember just about the sine, then it's enough to remember these all things, because here cos is just inverse of this. Here at what you will write at the last, that you will write at the first. Here cos 0 is 1 and sin 90 is 1, so reverse. Cos 30 is root 3 by 2. Here sin 60 is root 3 by 2. Cos 45 is 1 by root 2. Sin 45 is 1 by root 2. Cos 60 is 1 by 2. Sin 30 is 1 by 2. Cos 90 degree is 0. Here sin 0 degree is 0. So sin, when we write sin in the like this, when we write left to right as sin, just we should write reverse, that's cos, right to left. this sine and cos, if you know, it's easy to solve. Tan, because sine by cos is equals to tan. This rule, sine by cos is equals to tan, this rule is applicable in the many ways, or it helps in you in the solving many problems. Sine by cos is equals to tan. Here 0 by 1 is 0. Here 1 by 2 by root 3 by 2 is 1 by root 3. 1 by root 2 by 1 by root 2 is 1. Root 3 by 2 and divided by 1 by root 2 is root 3. And this 1 by 0. Here when the fraction is with the denominator as 0, we get not defined or infinite. Here this is not defined, or we write it as also infinite, because when denominators are 0, we write it as not defined. And sine is cosec is reciprocal of sine, so cosec sine 0 is sine 0 degree is 0 by 1. So when it becomes reverse 1 by 0, that is not defined again. Here it's not defined. Here sine 30 1 by 2, when we inverse it, it becomes 2. Here 1 by root 2 becomes root 2. Root 3 by 2 becomes 2 by root 3. However, 1 remains as 1. 1 by 1 is 1. Next, cos inverse. Cos inverse is secant. Here 1 inverse 1 is same. Here again these two inverse and these two inverse. Here 0 by it's 0 by 1. When 0 comes to denominator, when we reciprocal it, 0 comes to denominator, so it becomes not defined again. And here cot. So this is the end of the video. I hope you have learned some of the terms and basics of the trigonometry. That's today we learnt about the terminologies used in trigonometry, functions of the trigonometry and trigonometric angles. So please like this video, share and subscribe to our channel. That's Steady to IIT. Have a great day.